What is cloud computing? Definition wise, if I say cloud computing is on demand delivery of the IT resources and the applications via the internet with pay as you go pricing model. What that means, when we're going to purchase anything from the cloud, we can purchase it. Basically, the purchase is the not the right word. Basically, we are renting it. So how long you want that particular soft piece or technology with you, you can rent it for that time and you only pay for that time only. So that means the cloud technology provide you the facility to pay for your requirement as you using it. That means it's like a pay as you go pricing model what they have. Whether you run applications that share photos of millions of the mobile users, or you deliver a service that support the critical operations of whatever the business you run, the cloud provide you the rapid access and the flexibility with respect to that. Having critical operation of your business in place with I would say the low cost IT resources in use. What that means, whatever you are going to be get from the cloud, it is completely modeled in a such a way that you will get the list or very minimal amount what you're getting from the outside resource, from the outside world. Why so? Consider this example. When we go to any particular vendor for any sort of work, for example, this is my society. For example, I am living in a XYZ society, and in my society we have say around 600 flats. Owners who own flats, the number of the flats are 600. Now we got a requirement that set up a security cameras for this society, XYZ society. One thing I would do, I will go ahead and purchase a security CCTV camera for my individual area, and I place over there, and I will pay whatever the costs related to that. The costs involve cabling, then setting up the switches, and buying the hardware and rest of the things. And second thing, I will do like participate in a society, community, and with together we'll buy all the CCTV cameras, and whatever the cost come for individual flats, we'll pay those amount. That's the second thing. But consider, if I'm going to some vendor to purchase a single piece of the CCTV, and if I'm going to the some vendor to purchase bulk, for example 600 plus CCTV cameras for my requirements, so obviously whosoever vendor is there, he will give you discount, right? Because you're purchasing in a bulk, plus you'll be having all sort of minimum amount paying thing, because there are a lot of other things involved. Those things also come in that discount. So for example, for a single purchase you are paying say $100, but when you do it in a group and purchasing from a vendor, he will give you one say that piece in say $60, right? So it is a benefit for you as well to the vendor. In a cloud world also the similar thing happens. When I say the cloud computing give you the minimal or low cost thing, in that sense only, because the cloud providers, they are already having multiple clients, and multiple clients is engaged in the whatever the hardwares or the soft pieces what the cloud provider is providing, so that within their scope they can segregate that hardware in a way that all the customers utilize of one particular hardware, right? So over there, from their side also the cost is getting minimized, so that you get a benefit from your side as well. So that is important benefit what we get from the cloud, right? So in a simplest form, if I want to say, the cloud computing provide you an easy way to access servers, the storage, the database, broad set of applications, services over internet, and with minimal cost. You have the facility to rent that thing whenever you require, and whenever you don't require, you can just stop those things. So second important things when I talk about the cloud computing is that, say, consider you are a company and you have a data center and you have a requirement now that you have some new client. You need to provide some services to the new client, and new client have a requirement, say XYZ requirement, where you want, say, 2 firewalls, 500 servers, then different soft pieces, whatsoever it is. Now you will get this requirement for the client, and you will be setting up your data center for that client. Accordingly, you will be purchasing different devices, soft pieces, whatever it is, right? Now the customer, now you have all the data center ready and everything is working well, but now customer comes to you and he want you to scale up your environment, and he want to have more servers, more firewalls, more different applications, and more storage and everything. Now what you're going to do, you have to go ahead and purchase those things. Then you have to procure those things and inline those things, set up all those. It takes certain amount of time. I would say it takes months as well, depending on the availability of the hardware and everything. But in cloud computing, within one click you can create all this environment. So that is the flexibility what you get from the cloud computing. So I hope you guys understood what is cloud computing. In the next segment, I would like to give you the benefits of the cloud computing. So understand and see what is the benefit of the cloud computing. I am going to explain you 6 key advantages of the cloud computing, no matter with respect to the Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, whichever the cloud you will talk. These are the 6 important advantages you will going to be find. So number 1 is, as you can see on my screen, I would rank it. So this is the number 1 benefit what we get is economies of scale. What it means, by using cloud computing, you can achieve a lower variable cost that you would get on your own, because uses from the hundreds of or thousands of customers, cloud computing providers, they aggregate all this together, so that providers like AWS or Azure or Google Cloud, they can achieve higher economies of scale, which ultimately transfer to the lower cost, and the cloud customers, they get benefit out of it. So number 1 thing, I would say economy of a scale. Number 2 advantage is this one, stop guessing capacity. What it means, when you make a capacity decision prior to deploying an application, you often end up either sitting on an expensive idle resources or dealing with limited capacity. With cloud computing, organization can stop guessing about the capacity requirements for the infrastructure necessary to meet their business needs. Organization can access as much as little as they need and scale up or scale down their requirements or required infrastructure within few clicks. So guessing of the capacity is not the limit. You don't have to guess the capacity like, okay, now I have 15 servers, I have purchased 15 servers, this is my capacity, right? I won't go beyond this capacity. No, within the scale options, you can in a single click you can change that drastically. That is what we get it from the cloud. Next, I would say increase speed and agility. The best advantage in cloud computing environment, new IT resources are one click away, which allows organization to reduce the time it take to make those resources available to developer from weeks to just a minute, right? I mean, it resulted drastically increase in speed and agility for the organization, because the cost and the time it takes to experiment and develop it significantly get reduced when we talk about the cloud computing models. But if you think same in a data center, having application access on time, or if you're scaling up your environment, having those environment with you on time, it takes times, guys. I mean, in data center I have worked on applications, I know how it goes. But in a cloud, it's in a click. So within a click you can go ahead and do your job. Then I would say new thing, global in minutes. What that means is go global in a minutes. So it has if consider your organization can easily deploy the hell lot of applications, whatever the application they want, with the cloud in a minute, and with multiple locations. I mean, around the world, around the region, whichever region you want to have those applications to be deployed, you can do in a few clicks. What happens, guys? This allows your organization provide redundancy across the globe and deliver lower latency and better experiment with their applications. I would say whatever they want to achieve, across the globe, they can easily achieve, and with minimal cost. This is what I would say. And going global used to be, sometimes only the larger enterprise could afford this sort of, pricing when we talk about the data center thing. But with the cloud, any customer, can get and achieve this facility. So globalizing your organization in a minute is possible when I talk about the cloud computing. Next, focus on business differentiators and variable versus capital expenses. So when I talk about these two things, I would say we can focus whatever the businesses we want to deliver. For example, if I want to engage in a multiple business and I don't want to take a burden of a particular business, having the resources, having different computing resources, having different software pieces, whatever it is, I don't have to take a burden of it. If I get the facility what I'm getting from the cloud, I can easily just configure the things in a cloud and ask cloud provider itself to manage that for me. Obviously I'm paying rent for him, but I can focus on a different things, right? Consider I have a two business, one business having less priority and the another business having more priority. So one business I can host in a cloud, and another business, if it is something I want to host inside my organization, I can give more focus on that. So that is the benefit what I get when I have a cloud. Variable versus capital expenses, we already discussed this thing. Always we get minimal costs when we talk about the cloud computing, right? So guys, I hope you found this video informative. So thanks for watching this video, guys, and have a wonderful day.